Coming up on the October 6th edition of Sports Extra.
Oh, what a hit!
Is it basketball season yet? Carolina picked up its third straight loss after the Hokies gobbled up the Tar Heels.
Oh, hey, basketball season is almost here. After Late Night with Roy, we take a look at who stole the show.
2 soccer matches at Fetzer and 2 thrilling conclusions. Could women's soccer keep up its winning ways? And could the men's team finally get a win? All that and more, Sports Extra starts
right now.
From the University of North Carolina School of Journalism and Mass Communication, covering the full range of Tar Heel athletics, this is Sports Extra.
From the highs of late night to the lows of Saturday's football game, we have it all. Hello and welcome to the October 6th edition of Sports Extra. I'm Lana Albrecht.
And I'm Susanna Black. Before we get to those, though, we've had some developments in the UNC athletic scandal. The district attorney for Orange County has dropped charges against a former UNC tutor. Jennifer Wiley Thompson was charged with 4 counts of athlete-agent inducement. Joining us live from South Building to explain the situation is reporter Molly Oak. Molly, if you would, how did the situation begin?
Thompson was indicted on 4 counts of athlete-agent inducement. Now that's a Class 1 felony, meaning a maximum sentence of 15 months in prison or up to a $25,000 fine in civil penalties. Now this past Thursday, Orange County District Attorney Jim Woodall dropped those charges. Susanna?
So, Molly, why now would these charges be dropped?
The DA talked to Thompson, and multiple news outlets reported that Thompson has agreed to not only act as a witness, but also cooperate with the investigations. Now go back to July, and we'll remember a similar situation happened with UNC's former African-American department chairman, Julius Nangaro. Hopefully with those two working together, we can find some quicker solutions to these problems.
So what does this mean going forward for the university?
Multiple news outlets also said that Thompson has talked to the former Assistant U.S. Attorney General Kenneth Weinstein. Now Weinstein is the one who is investigating these athletic academic scandals here at UNC, but he has said he will only provide findings, not fixes. Those fixes are up to Chancellor Carol Folt and the rest of the UNC.
Now let's talk about Coach Butch Davis. He was fired during all of this. What is he up to now?
Butch Davis is still getting paid by UNC for another year. He's getting $590,000. And just this past July, he was hired by ESPN as a studio analyst. So you can find him on Saturdays talking college football on ESPN2, as well as doing some other analysis for other ESPN outlets. Now, with all this happening, I can't help but remember Bruce Pearl, who was assistant basketball coach at University of Iowa back in 1988 and 89. He was involved with a recruiting scandal as well. 3 years later, he got the head coaching job at University of Southern Indiana and is now the head coach of men's basketball at Auburn. This just goes to show that these head coaches, even in the midst of scandal, are still landing on their feet. Susanna?
That was Molly Oak, live from South Building.
Now, moving back to on-field action, the football team is still struggling. At a loss to Virginia Tech to the streak. Military Appreciation Day brought out the largest attendance in Keenan this year. But in terms of the game, there wasn't really much to see. After a fumble on the first play from scrimmage, the Hokies capitalized, turning this short run into a touchdown. While the defense continues to improve, the offense was out of rhythm. Quarterback Marquise Williams had some wild throws, like this one, with no one around. The receivers also struggled to get open. All of UNC's touchdowns came in the fourth quarter. Virginia Tech dominated 34-17. After the game, head coach Larry Fedora had few answers.
I mean, there was nothing that was going good in that first half. I mean, nothing, you know, and so as a coach, you start searching for all kind of things, a spark, who's going to give that spark to the team to maybe get, you know, turn that tide and get something going, who's going to step up and be that leader, you know, and we just never got that going in the first half.
Daily Tar Heel sports editor Grace Rayner joins us now. Grace, This is bad.
Alana, honestly it is. This team just keeps doing the same things over and over again. Some of these mistakes are mental. We saw on Saturday that they had 10 penalties for 62 yards, and they're just little ones. We saw illegal formations, we saw false starts, and then we saw Jeff Schottmer come up with a huge strip sack for the Tar Heels, only for them to be called offsides. That crushes all the momentum they have at that moment.
Okay, so what's going on with the quarterbacks?
Larry Fedora still seems very set in putting Mitch Trubisky in on the third series each time, and I think that it's messing with the flow of the offense. Marquise Williams, yes, he has a heavy load, but once he gets into a rhythm and then you pull him out, it kind of crushes all that momentum for them.
Okay, so you bring up some interesting coaching decisions. Anything else stand out to you?
Yeah, I think we saw on Saturday the running back position is the most talented on the team. You have Elijah Hood, TJ Logan, Romar Morris. Those are all three very talented running backs, yet the three of them combined for 9 carries and 15 yards. So you have to give your ball to these playmakers consistently. Let them show off their talents, let them do their thing. But everyone was out of a rhythm. Marquise Williams had 94 yards on a career-high 19 carries, but at this point we can't really be sure if those carries are designated, if they're assigned to him, or if he's just taking off when he sees the opportunity. So it's just the disconnect is pretty obvious.
So there seems to be a sense of complacency.
Yes, for sure. I think that the team knows the changes that they need to make, and they know what it's going to take, but executing has been the issue.
Well, who's going to help guide this team?
I think that's another big question mark. Is it going to be the coaches that step up? Is it going to be a player? We haven't really seen anyone kind of morph into that role, and that's a big issue when you have a football team that has as tough a schedule as the Tar Heels do coming up.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's not all downhill from here. The storm clouds might be coming, though.
They might.
Thank you, Grace.
Thanks, Alana.
The Tar Heels fell short on Saturday, and some very elite teams joined UNC in the loss column. 5 of the top 10 teams in the country went down this week, including perennial favorites Oregon, Alabama, and Oklahoma. This has opened the door for Notre Dame to move up to the top 6, making the Fighting Irish the highest-ranked team UNC has played since the Heels took on number 6 South Carolina in last year's season opener. Another loss in the ACC, but at least Carolina looked good.
So how exactly did the Stars and Stripes end up on the field at Kenan Stadium? AJ Nwoko has the answer.
If you paint it, they will come, or at least that's the case with Kenan Stadium as workers prepare the tar pit for another home game. It takes a lot to turn this stadium into a game-ready playing field. Athletic Facility Director Kevin Robinson.
But we have about 10 guys that'll be working out here, Thursday and Friday, painting the field and getting it ready. It's a process, you have to paint one color, wait for it to dry, and then come back and fill in with the other colors and stuff like that.
Kevin and his team are out here every week trying to get these fields ACC ready. But with this game being on Military Appreciation Day, they're adding a little bit of red and white to that Carolina blue.
So we're doing some special things with our paint scheme. We got the American flag in the middle, and then we're also doing American flag design in the end zones.
And doing that takes a small team working around the clock and around the field.
Depending on what design we want to go with that week, this week's is a little more detailed than normal, so it takes a couple more hours than usual.
I'm preparing audio for tomorrow's game, so I will plug in what I need where, because when you got the game going, you certainly don't want to be part of the action.
We all come together to get this job done, whether it be painting lines, painting ACC logos, midfield logos.
And once all the elements are ready, all that's left are some fans.
To make this field look as good as it does is definitely a team effort and a process that, again, we enjoy it.
And what fan wouldn't enjoy a process that brought a little bit of the USA to UNC? In Chapel Hill, I'm AJ Nwoko reporting.
And if you liked the red, white, and blue, Robinson says the next project will be turning Kenan Stadium pink for the breast cancer awareness game in 2 weeks.
Friday night marked the unofficial return of basketball season at Carolina as the annual celebration Late Night with Roy rocked the Dean Dome. Joining us in the studio is Brett Thompson to tell us more about the high-energy spectacle.
Late Night has become one of the highlights of the year. Another packed house in the Dean Dome to see both the men and the women strut their stuff, and the men to stuff the rock. Thousands were in attendance for the emotional roller coaster as women's coach and cancer survivor Sylvia Hatchell returned to a heartfelt welcome by the Tar Heel faithful. The event also featured plenty of dancing by coaches and players and a lip-sync showdown where Kennedy Meeks stole the show with Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You. The show concluded with a chilling tribute to ESPN's Stuart Scott, a UNC alumnus who's currently battling cancer. The men's team played each other following the festivities, where fans got their first look at the new freshman. Joel Berry contributed with this nice drive to the hole, and Theo Pinson displayed not only his ability to score, but also to facilitate on the fast break. And Justin Jackson put on a scoring clinic. He finished with a game-high 17 points. It came on a variety of jumpers and lay-ins, including this last-minute go-ahead basket to give the blue team a 1-point victory. This group has the chance to do some big things this year and showing more balance than we've seen in the past few years. The Tar Heels will see their first action of the year on October 24th when they host Fayetteville State in the Dean Dome at 7:30.
Basketball analyst Brett Thompson live in our studio with a look at the multi-talented Tar Heels and a summary of their hopes for the coming season. Thanks, Brett. Carolina has had all kinds of superstars on the women's soccer team. Crystal Dunn, Cindy Parlow, Mia Hamm.
And when we come back, we take a look at one player who could be joining their ranks.
Connect with us online by liking the Sports Extra Facebook page and following us on Twitter at @SportsExtra_UNC.
Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
No more pencils, no more books.
No more teachers, dirty looks.
School's out for summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%. To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org because great things happen when we live united.
Me llamo Raquel Mendoza y esta es mi vida. Mis hijos están envueltos en muchas actividades. Eso requiere mucho estrés y correr para acá y para allá. A veces mi familia necesita un escape. Este lugar trae mucha paz y hay mucha calma, mucha naturaleza. Quiero regresar con mi familia más seguido.
Encuentra el bosque más cercano en descubreelbosque.org. El bosque, más cerca de lo que crees.
The men's soccer team had lost 3 straight games going into Friday's match against Clemson, and it wasn't a good start against the Tigers. Carolina was down 2-0 until freshman Zach Wright knocked in this short shot. Junior Walker Hume followed up with this sweet left-footed cross into the corner of the net to tie things up. In overtime, a Clemson defender fouled freshman David October in the box, and junior Robbie George won the match on this PK. 6-4, Carolina looks to carry the momentum into Tuesday when the Heels play Campbell at Fetzer. The UNC women's soccer team faced off against Virginia Tech on Friday. The matchup of top 10 teams had goals coming from everywhere. The offensive showcase started just 3 minutes into the match as freshman Megan Buckingham blasted home her 3rd goal of the season. Just before half, Sarah Ashley Furstenberg headed a beautiful cross into the back of the net. Some star power showed up on the sideline when UNC soccer legend Mia Hamm gave a speech at halftime. The Hokies rallied late to score 2 goals, but Carolina held on to win 3-2. The Tar Heels are now 4-0 in the ACC.
For sophomore Joanna Boyles, age is just a number. She's only 19 years old, but she already has a pretty impressive resume. Amanda Lee has the story.
Joanna Boyles started playing soccer when she was only 4 years old. Since then, she's excelled in the sport at every level. She's played for top club teams, U.S. national teams, and now she's a sophomore playing for the legendary women's soccer program here at UNC.
It's unbelievable. I grew up coming to every single game, and I was watching the stands at Fetzer. Now it's pretty cool to be playing on Fetzer.
Instead of playing for her high school soccer team at Sanderson, Joanna played for the '94 Castle Chelsea ladies, who practiced right here at WRL Soccer Park. She was a leader on the team, even though she was a year younger than most of her teammates. That's nothing new for her, though. She's used to playing and standing out against older competition. That's how Coach Dorrance discovered her.
She carved a couple players in a very tight space with a really sophisticated set of moves. I was impressed, and so the other coaches sitting there were also impressed. So they leaned over and said, "Anson, what year is she in school?"
Coach Dorrance said she was in 11th grade, but he was off by 3 years. Joanna was only in 8th grade at the time. After that game, Coach Dorrance invited her for a visit to Chapel Hill and suggested that she graduate high school a year early so she could get a jump start on her career at UNC. She says that decision has given her an edge on the field.
I think staying another year in club, I think I would have just kind of plateaued, but coming here a year early really pushed me to grow as a player and a person.
Joanna didn't have instant success at UNC. As a freshman, she played behind Crystal Dunn, one of the greatest players in program history. Adjusting to less playing time and a new level of competition was difficult.
It was a big change and it was a big jump, and I needed that. I needed something to kind of light a fire under me.
That fire helped Joanna earn a starting spot on the team this year. She's increased her offensive production too, scoring 3 goals on 27 shots so far this season, and there's many more to come. In Chapel Hill, I'm Amanda Lee reporting.
3 of Joanna's goals this season have come in the past 4 games. We'll see if she can continue her success this weekend when the Heels take on 2 key ACC opponents.
The volleyball team had a successful weekend, starting it off with a thrilling win against Pitt in 5 sets. The Heels then faced Clemson on Sunday and came away with a quick 3-0 victory. After the Tar Heels won an easy first set, the Tigers gained momentum and fought back to make sets 2 and 3 a little more interesting. But senior Chanel Nelson helped hold off the Tigers, leading Carolina with a season-high 17 kills with a .517 attacking percentage. The Heels are back in action on Friday as they take on Virginia at home.
Last year, he thought his swim career was over.
This year, he made the U.S. national team. The inspiring story next.
If you store your guns properly, I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
Please, do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave. Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
The men's tennis team went to Tulsa this week to participate in the ITA All-American Championships. But their run ended last night after sophomore Ronnie Schneider lost to UCLA's Mackenzie McDonald in the consolation draw semifinals. Schneider won the first set 6-2, but lost the next 2 sets, both 1-6. The Heels will be back in action on Friday at the Wake Forest Invitational.
Field hockey is in the middle of a tough stretch of matches, and the one on Friday didn't go according to plans. The Heels struggled badly against the stingy Cavaliers defense, managing to come up only with this single goal by junior Emily Wold. The Heels also failed to capitalize on a number of penalty corners, falling by a final score of 2-1. The loss Friday night was the Heels' first home loss of the season, leaving the team 8-2 overall and 2-2 in ACC play. The Heels will try to bounce back with a win Thursday in Winston-Salem against Wake Forest. Senior field hockey player Lauren Sheely is a great example of how student athletes can be successful on the field and in the classroom. Morgan Ammons has the story.
In her 4 years at UNC, senior field hockey player Lauren Sheely has received attention for her success in academics and athletics.
Well, if you don't push yourself, you're never going to realize kind of how much you can do. And that's why I always encourage my teammates and friends.
Sheely pushed herself to become the first student athlete to become a Robertson Scholar. The program allows students to take classes at Duke and UNC and required her to live at Duke for a semester.
We respect each other, and it's a fun rivalry, and I definitely received some comments on game days from classmates that knew I was a UNC student, but it was really fun.
On the field, Sheely has seen playing time in every game during her Carolina career, even as a true freshman. She wants to help the Heels realize their lofty expectations.
Honestly, this year has been a great year so far, really good team chemistry, so I don't know, hopefully more good things to come.
One good thing that came to Sheely was being named the 2013 Sports Illustrated Female College Athlete of the Year.
It was really an honor. I was glad to, represent the university in a positive way, and it was a really cool experience.
The award was no surprise to head coach Karen Shelton.
I think she was very deserving, because she is an impact player. She represents her sport, she represents her university, her state, and our program to the best of her ability.
The one thing missing from Sheely's long list of accomplishments is an NCAA championship.
We've done great so far this season. We're hoping to continue that, and going to work really hard to reach our goals. So fingers crossed, knock on wood.
After graduation, Sheely plans to work for the investment company Credit Suisse, but wants to make sure field hockey is a part of her life in some way. In Chapel Hill, I'm Morgan Ammons reporting.
Lauren had a 4.0 GPA until she received 1 A- last semester. Oh, poor Lauren. Alana and I can relate to that.
The softball team is in the midst of the fall schedule and played a doubleheader against UNC Greensboro Sunday. The Tar Heels grabbed the win in the first game, beating the Spartans 8-3. Lauren Brown led the team with a total of 5 RBIs. In the second game, the Heels weren't so lucky. UNCG came away with the win 9-7. On Wednesday, the team takes on North Carolina Central at home in Anderson Softball Stadium. Medical problems can end athletics careers, but what could have been a devastating diagnosis pushed one Carolina swimmer to reach his biggest achievement.
Tar Heel Ben Colley is one of the fastest swimmers in the nation. At Nationals in California this summer, he swam the 4th fastest time in the 200 butterfly and earned a spot on the national team alongside Olympians like Michael Phelps and Ryan Lochte. Colley says he's surprised to be on the roster.
I never really thought that I could ever be in that position.
Especially when Colley wasn't sure he'd still be in the pool. Last year, doctors diagnosed him with type 1 diabetes.
It was pretty shocking and scary because I was just so clueless on what it was and what that means.
Last September, Colley knew something was wrong when his swimming started to suffer.
I was so out of shape and so fatigued during practice, and I lost 25 pounds.
Monitoring his insulin levels has become routine, but the diagnosis came as a total surprise.
I just wouldn't think of myself as a candidate for diabetes, but it's genetic or you can get it in a virus.
Colley says it hasn't affected his swimming since he started taking insulin. He just has to make sure his blood sugar doesn't drop below 70 after practice or meets.
The lowest I've been is 38, which was really, really bad, but I didn't pass out. I just ate a bunch of Skittles. It was good.
Colley's first focus is this season. He wants to place top 3 at NCAAs in the 200 butterfly. He'll start preparing for the 2016 Olympics after the Tar Heel swim season ends. There's more to UNC athletics than just the big name sports.
Coming up next on Sports Extra, Campus Rec is changing things up for all the non-varsity athletes.
Don't forget to tune into our sister shows, Carolina Week at 5 p.m. every Wednesday on Time Warner 24 or Campus Channel 34, and Carolina Connection at 8:30 every Saturday morning on WCHL 97.9 FM.
The great outside. My new mom and I have a lot in common. So shiny. We both love the outdoors. That's not a flower. And she knows a lot about wildlife. A labradoodle.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
You wouldn't let money just blow out of your house. So when your AC or heater is on, make sure the doors, windows, and fireplace flue are shut tight. If you're headed out, turn down the AC or lower the heat by 10 degrees. And always keep your water heater set at 120. A little bit of common sense goes a long way. Get more great tips at energysaver.gov.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Are you gonna start it or? Yeah. There's more to athletics than the guys who step on the court or the girls who run on the pitch. Every day, people are athletes too.
At UNC, Campus Rec helps bring out the fitness guru in each of us. Now, Campus Rec is changing its look. Luis Fernandez reports.
The Student Recreation Center, or SRC, is a hotspot on campus for health and fitness. Students and faculty march in to work out.
Hi, how are you doing? Good. Enjoy your workout.
It can get a little busy though. Senior Claire Holt says she loves the SRC, but things need to change.
The ceilings are kind of like a little outdated. The carpets, I don't know, it just, sometimes it doesn't feel like a gym.
Luckily for Holt and all of the Carolina community, updates are coming, and not just to the SRC. Campus Recreation is revamping the entire system. Fetzer Field, campus gyms, Hooker Field, everything is on the table. President of Campus Recreation, Bill Goa, says it's about bringing the system up to speed.
We're looking to ways to better utilize a lot of the facilities that we have on campus to make them more user-friendly.
Campus Rec hired 360 Architecture to oversee the project. Campus Rec and 360 Architecture held forums in the student union, meeting with students. 360 is looking for what the students want. Project manager Doug Barraza loves to get them involved.
They are the creators of the vision that will be the next 40, 50 years of campus recreation.
Students will have a direct say in the design. After 2 days, 1,500 people responded to a Campus Rec survey about possible changes. Senior project designer James Brom says fitness has changed, and students have taken note.
Now it's about a full workout. It's about functional training. It's about high-intensity training. We're seeing the limits pushed with each project, and that's what they're looking for.
360 should have plans ready by the end of December. In Chapel Hill, I'm Luis Fernandez reporting.
All right, Susanna, I hate to do it, but let's go back to football. There was a lot of hype going into this season, and the Tar Heels just haven't been performing. What's your prediction for the rest of the season?
You know, Lana, I hate to say it, but you are exactly right. They're not performing, and I would have to say we're only going to win one more game. I predict it's going to be against Pitt here in a few weeks. We have a tough game coming up this week at number 6 Notre Dame. So we'll see what happens.
That was this edition of Sports Extra.
Thanks for watching. Good night.